So we're here to talk about the mini martial art of arm wrestling.
Oh yeah, arm wrestling, man. I'm telling you. Well, you know, I gotta say, I've gotten more heavily into broadcasting the last few years, and never really wanted to compete again. 2016, was a great year for me. I was inducted into the Florida MMA Hall of Fame for my contributions as a competitor and broadcaster and coach in the Sunshine State. I went out back home to my alma mater, to Norwalk Wrestling, to headline a big event for fundraiser for the Mats. And it seemed like a great year to just kind of hang back, you know, well into my 40s, just kind of chill and work on the mic and broadcast. But still work out regularly, still train with a lot of the younger guys. And what happened was, interestingly enough, Hannibal TV, great podcast network. The number one combat sports podcast network in all of Canada. And yourself being Canadian,
that's right.
I know you're familiar with it. I worked with Hannibal as far as booking some of my clients from MMA and folks that I've had good relationships with from MMA on his show. I was on there with New York Badass Phil Baroni. I was had Gorgeous George, Stephanie Bellers on there to talk about the book that we did together, and got Stephan Bonner booked for an extended interview. I put Hannibal in touch with Forrest Griffin. He did a great feature at the UFC Performance Center, which Forrest Griffin runs. Great interview. You can check them here on Hannibal TV. They're phenomenal. I put him in touch with Tito Ortiz's management. So I got to know Stephan through that. I had an episode with Colin Crandall, actually wearing her shirt right now.
What is this now?
It's Cross-Train Fighter,
Nice.
which is his apparel company. He hosts MMA Power Hour. I got Devin Hannibal Nicholson booked on MMA Power Hour with me to talk about him going into MMA. He has a phenomenal amateur wrestling career, Canadian national freestyle champion. He's competing in kickboxing now. And so I got familiar with the Hannibal TV network. And so one day, just a few weeks ago, I was watching Hannibal TV and I saw this fella, Devon Larratt, come on there. Arm wrestling. Now, it's funny because arm wrestling has always been my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to college, at the bars, in the locker rooms, when I got into the booze business, one of my coworkers was a former pro football player, Chris Fricky, 6'4", 280. Beat him at arm wrestling.
Wow.
I've beaten a number of top MMA stars in arm wrestling, pro wrestlers in arm wrestling, amateur wrestlers, just in the bars and in the locker rooms.
Right.
Never did it and never thought about doing it professionally.
In a club. Yeah.
Never thought about doing it professionally, just as a goof,
yeah.
Sometimes for money, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You know, we're drinking and partying, and I'm no stranger to that. You know, throw some money on the table, put your arm up on the table.
That's right.
You know, and so I never thought about doing it professionally, but I saw this guy, Devon Larratt, and he all the respect in the world to the guy, all that he's done in arm wrestling. I haven't done a damn thing in arm wrestling yet. But what struck me the wrong way with Devon Larratt was how he spoke down on UFC legend Gary Goodrich, and how he disrespected the legend Scott Norton. And that kind of got me a bad taste in my mouth about Devon Larratt. So I thought, what the hell? In 2019, I would love an opportunity to make an attempt to exterminate the rat. So Devon Larratt, if you're watching this, I am not a professional arm wrestler. Not at all. But I recently shared a meme that I sent out to everybody to have a dominant New Year, and it was a picture from one of my MMA fights where I had my opponent in a position where I was about to transition him into a double wrist lock, and transition that double wrist lock, turn my shoulder, turn my hips, and transition that into an arm bar, which I did right after that picture was taken. And I thought about the similarities. When it comes to moving human beings' arms, Devon Larratt, I want you to look at this 22-inch neck. I want you to look at these legitimate 20-inch arms. I've never had a problem moving arms around, Devon Larratt. Never been a problem for me. There's only one way to find out if I can beat you at arm wrestling, and that's not typing on a computer, Larratt. I want an opportunity to exterminate the rat. Just give me an opportunity, Devon Larratt. Just give me an opportunity. Just give me an opportunity, Devon Larratt. That's all I want is an opportunity.